Welcome to the basketball tournament of the summer. TBT started with 75 teams a month ago. Now it's down to 8. Win today and you move on to the semifinals next week in Baltimore. There's no second place. It's win or go home. And the reward, a cool $2 million. 3 more wins and the jackpot is yours, but you'll have to earn it. So expect an intense, pressure-filled day for the right to be called TBT champion. Day 4 of the basketball tournament from Brooklyn, New York, with quarterfinal action to decide who's still alive to win the jackpot. Back in the city that never sleeps, we are in Brooklyn, New York for our second quarterfinal of the basketball tournament. Team Foe versus Boeheim's Army for a spot in the semifinals next week in Baltimore. And welcome everybody. Doug Sherman along with Fran Fraschilla will be joined in a moment by Jen Hale. And we have ourselves a matchup that certainly has a packed house here, invigorated and ready to go.
Well, you know Syracuse is supposed to be New York State's team. And they show it because a lot of alumni in the area, they get a chance to watch guys they rooted for in the past.
Well, the only man to play in all 3 Boeheim's Army incarnations in TBT is Eric Devendorf, and he has been delivering big time so far this summer.
And he really has, and we always knew he could score, and that's great to see. He ended his pro career. He's now on Jim Boeheim's staff, but hey, put the uniform on, put the lights on, and he knows how to find a hoop.
And, you know, we've really kind of got an old Big East matchup here. Brandon Trish, certainly another one of the backcourt members for Syracuse who knows what to do along with Devendorf. They date back to some of those glory days. Trish trying to overcome a pinky injury that he suffered last time out.
He'll be okay. I think he's the all-time winningest player in Syracuse history. He should be just fine.
And now on the other side of things for Team Foe, talking about old Big East players, how about Malik Waynes, the former Villanova star, getting it done for this Team Foe?
No question about it. This is a guy with NBA experience. He's a legend in the Philly playgrounds, and he can still play, obviously. Played this summer in the LA Summer League for the Washington Wizards, and take a look. He's got game. He can shoot it from deep. He obviously gets to the rim because he's a Philly guard, and it's going to be exciting to watch him play today because he's still in the prime of his career.
Team Foe is a hybrid of Philly guys and Kansas guys. Guys from Philly and guys who played at Kansas, and Jen is with one guy who fits both those bills, Marcus Morris.
Indeed, Doug. Thanks so much. Coach, we appreciate your time. How did you spend your days off preparing for Boeheim's Army?
I just called a couple of my college coaches from in the past and a couple of coaches that I currently play for, and got some breakdowns on how to beat the 2-3.
Yeah, that zone defense can be tough. What's the game plan for that?
I can't tell you my game plan, but we spent a lot of time going over it and just trying to dissect it, because if we beat the zone, we win the game. So it's really important for us.
Eric Devendorf has been so effective for them. How do you combat him in the backcourt?
It's about if he can guard us. We ain't worried about him. We got guys that's going to take it personal and defend him, so we're going to see how that go.
And Coach, you added a player, I understand, just moments before the deadline for today?
Yeah, Merv Lindsay is a lefty shooter, somebody for the zone.
So you had the zone in mind specifically when you added him?
For sure.
We'll be watching. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.
Doug, we'll send it back to you.
All right.
Well, when you play a team that's made up of Syracuse alumni, that 2-3 zone can get into your head. And the advantage that Team Foe has is that they have guys that can make shots from the outside. Going to be critical.
This is the 4th year of the basketball tournament, playing 2 18-minute halves. Players disqualified, as you see, like professionals on their 6th foul. And the team fouls reset midway through each half. We'll keep you updated as we go through it, and we are ready for basketball. One win is in the book for Scarlet and Gray, looking for number 2 right now. Brandon Trish, Eric Devendorf, Rick Jackson, Dante Green, and C.J. Fair in the home whites. And these uniforms are kind of throwbacks to the 03 National Championship team for Syracuse.
One thing about TBT, they have great uniforms. And right off the bat, turnover.
Yeah, I talked to John Mugar, the creator of TBT, about the uniforms, and he said it's a collaborative thing. He wants input from each of the teams, but TBT is very much in charge of getting the unis, and quite often they're very sharp.
Well, that's one way to beat the zone. Throw that lob, but they came up empty.
Well, you can't get the dunk. You may as well step out and knock it down from 25. Mario Little with the first 3 points of the day.
A Chicago native playing overseas now, former Kansas star. One thing we noticed last year, Boeheim's Army, when they lost to the Untouchables, the former Pitt Panther team, these guys are pros. They can make shots better than they did in college. So you got to be really careful when you play all zone.
Dante Green, no. Rick Jackson on second effort will head to the line. Well, feels like a mini Carrier Dome in here. In that, all the people in orange are standing and clapping like they do at Syracuse until the home team gets a bucket. They got to score a field goal before these folks sit down.
It's so good to see Rick Jackson out there, Eric Devendorf. Remember that incredible 09 game in the Big East tournament, right? 6 overtimes. Got 2 of the starters out here today.
Well, the signature moment of that, of course, was the bucket that didn't count from Eric Devendorf. And that was the 09 Big East quarterfinals at Madison Square Garden. There's Ryan Blackwell, second-year head coach of Boeheim's Army, and he, has been in touch with Coach Boeheim quite a lot. And, we heard from Marcus Morris talking that he has discussed coaching strategies with his mentors. Same can be said for Coach Blackwell.
No doubt about it. You like the fact that they are going to play the zone. That's a tough shot. I don't think you can beat this zone with that kind of shot. Gotta have more patience.
Blocking foul. The Boeheim's Army crew trying to get the bucket to count, but the official says no.
In NBA, that would have been good, but as we've already pointed out, this is a hybrid of rules, mostly NCAA, some FIBA. Ryan Blackwell, wasn't he the guy that hit the disputed shot against St. John's back in 1998?
When you say disputed,
Big
you mean
East,
disputed?
Yeah, Todd Bergen travel.
I don't think it was disputed.
Jim Boeheim's shaking his head right now. I know he is. Telling
Trish,
you.
Syracuse, the alumni, Boeheim's Army getting multiple attempts.
Now this bodes well for Boeheim's Army because we talked about 4 guards for Team Foe, but definitely an advantage on the glass for Syracuse, especially with Rick Jackson, who in his day in the Big East was a load inside, native of Philadelphia.
Yeah, Rick Jackson's senior year at Syracuse, he led the Big East in rebounds, blocks, and field goal percentage, the defensive player of the year in the conference. And so he knows all the Philly guys on the other side for Team Foe. They all came up together.
That's the great thing about this tournament, because there's no more sometimes than 2 or 3 degrees of separation.
Devendorf bottled up, gets it out to Fair. Green from the corner. Tyshawn Taylor, the former Kansas Jayhawk, missed the reverse.
Good effort by Marcus. Who's that? No, it's Mario Little. Nice.
Zone gobbled it up, though. Jackson the steal. Devendorf. He has been so good in TBT this year. He gets the first Boeheim's Army bucket to settle the crowd.
Eric Devendorf finished his pro career in New Zealand a couple years ago now. As I mentioned, you see him when you do Syracuse games and go to practice. Family man now.
Got a couple of beautiful daughters up there in central New York. Tough pass to handle, 7 on the shot clock. Team Foe working the glass. Marcus Kennedy.
I'll tell you, Marcus Kennedy had an amazing career at SMU under Larry Brown. He went to Villanova, didn't play a lot, was overweight. He became a really good player at SMU and helped turn that program around.
Yeah, twice the 6th man of the year in the American Conference.
And really was a starter because I watched them play quite a bit Live right close to the SMU campus. Outstanding player.
And he was a solid reserve as a freshman for Jay Wright at Villanova before making the move.
Well, we've seen a couple of things so far from Team Foe, which could be problematic. First, let's go watch Devendorf on this end. But I like the idea that Team Foe is hitting the glass and also pushing the ball in transition. Good way to play that zone.
Brandon Trish picked up his second foul that sends Taylor to the line, who completes the three-point play. Trish got the start in this ball game after John Gillen made the start in Thursday's win over Team Fancy. But Gillen barely played in that game. He was not nearly as effective in his 7 minutes. Trish played a much bigger role, including knocking down the game-winning three.
Well, I don't think there's any question, with all due respect to John Gillen, the kind of year he had this year as a graduate transfer. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down with this guy, Brandon Trish.
And you see Trish playing with a splint on his right pinky finger. He's practiced with that the last couple of days, and he's been getting a lot of shots up. Says he feels all right, but can't imagine it's anything normal.
I like the ball movement so far. Those are sloppy play there.
No change of possession. Shot clock under 10. Block shots for Boeheim's Army. Multiple attempts at the offensive glass. Team Foe working hard. And then a foul is called. Our next WNBA game of the week has All-Stars Tina Charles and the Liberty taking on the Lynx and their big three All-Stars, Maya Moore, Sylvia Foles, Simone Augustus, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN2. And as always, you can catch it streaming live on the ESPN app. Marcus Kennedy goes out of the ball game for Team Foe. Sean Evans, the former St. John's forward, into the game. Malik Waynes tried to get the basketball there, had it kicked out of bounds by Dante Green.
How about that length on the back line for Boeheim's Army? Green, Jackson, Sutherland. Pretty good. But I like the ball movement so far by Team Foe.
Trish got his left hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. James Sutherland into the game for Boeheim's Army, another former NBA player. He and Dante Green have both played in the league for Boeheim's Army. Long three by Simpson, and it goes back to Boeheim's Army.
And James Sutherland was also one of those guys we've talked about in the LA Summer League. And of course, he had a really good year last year. He was with the Jazz this summer, but part of a really good Santa Cruz Warriors team.
And he missed the first couple of games of TBT this year, as Trish puts it up, because he was playing NBA Summer League.
Exactly.
He's just another option for Boeheim's Army. Working along the back line of the zone. Shot up over Jackson, no. First attempt by Michael Thompson since coming into the ball game.
Wait a minute, Michael Thompson, that name sounds familiar.
Well, take a look at him. His face is familiar. You see coming up, Team Challenge ALS, an armored athlete. And then the nightcap of our quarterfinals, Ram Nation Overseas Elite. Can Ram Nation take down the two-time defending TBT champs?
Yes, because they play hard, they got a lot of talent, and they've got that added incentive of the band. How about, speaking of striking up the band, how about Eric Devendorf?
And as the ball swished through the net, he immediately glanced at the Team Foe bench to let him know. Dante Green very active in this zone.
Eric Devendorf torquing a little trash. What? No. Are you kidding me? Talk about a guy with confidence. I love talking to him. I did a couple Syracuse games this year. He's certainly matured as a player and as a young man.
He has Syracuse's only 2 made field goals so far. His teammates 0 for 9 collectively. Here goes Devendorf, loves to drive left, and he earns a trip to the line. And was the basket interfered with where they should count the bucket? Clarence Armstrong, the lead official, along with Guy Pagano and Tim Edwards, discussing it right now.
Stop the basket.
And they will count the basket. So Dievendorf got it up on the rim. The rim then was hit by the hand of a team foe player, so count the bucket in one.
What are the odds of one of the Morris twins getting a technical?
Should we look? Should we look?
Let's watch right here. Well, here's what happened. Yeah, he played with the rim while the ball was up there on the cylinder. So by rule, it was ticky-tack, but there was contact with the net and the rim. It's actually a good call.
Johnson has it rattle out. Sutherland rips down the rebound. Scoop Jardine is in the building, just arriving on the Boeheim's Army bench as Dievendorf misfires. He was on the original roster for this club. John Gillen actually replaced him with injury. Trevor Cooney on the floor for Boeheim's Army as well, up front on the zone.
Tough passing right now.
Here's Thompson. Extra pass right wing. Clean look. Simpson buries it.
Now, that's the concern if you play the 2-3 zone, because these guys know how to play the game. They're professionals, and they shoot it oftentimes better than they were in college. You just got to hope, if you're Boeheim's Army, that they don't heat up.
Offensive foul.
Vincent Simpson, great career at Hampton for the Pirates, playing overseas. Hey, he's a pro. You can't leave him open. On the court. No, we started to talk about Michael Thompson, and we were gonna get into Clay and the whole deal, and then we went to another direction. So
that's not good for me. I mean, what John just said, that was all distorted.
I know. Oh yeah. I'm on this.
Mine have been fine from the start, regardless of what level I've had them on, until you just spoke to me, until John just spoke. Everything else has been fine for me up until that point.
The basketball tournament is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're off to a red-hot start here in Brooklyn. 11-9 as Team Family Over Everything take on the Orangemen. Eric Dievendorf, responsible for 8 of the Orangemen's 9 points. He's up 3 of 4 from the field so far today. You know, he spent part of his off time since the Orangemen last played visiting the Boys and Girls Club in the Bronx, offering inspiration and advice to those who hope to follow in his footsteps, whether it be a playing career, a coaching career, or both. And guys, that's part of what makes Eric Dievendorf so special. Not just his skill on the court, not just his amazing leadership, but the fact that he always puts others first and takes time to give back.
Well, no doubt Jim Boeheim speaks very highly of Eric Devendorf and how he has matured. You know, we still see the fiery nature of him on the court just like we did back in his college days, but off the court and what he does with his family, with his daughters. Michigan native, very responsible, very respectful, fine young man, and as Jen pointed out there, spent some of his own time here this weekend in New York City up in the Bronx with some kids.
And when I asked him last year about why he gave up playing professionally overseas, he said, you know what, it's time to become a family man.
Yep.
I was tired of being away from my family. We've talked about all these guys who do play overseas. It's great to be a professional basketball player, but you have to give up some things, and sometimes what you give up is time with your family, and he decided he had a long enough career.
Yeah, so his daughters, Madeline and Miranda, happy to have Dad around a lot more. And Eric says that if Boeheim's Army wins the $2 million, a lot of that money he would put right into his daughter's college funds. Trevor Cooney fights to pick up the loose ball.
Looks like it's got Vaseline on it, the way he's dribbling it. Wow. Trevor, just spot up and shoot it. Just find a spot on that three-point line and we'll get it to you. John Gillen in the game as well right now. The graduate transfer from Colorado State who had a magnificent season for Jim Boeheim. The last second shot to beat Duke at home, and of course that amazing game down in Raleigh where he had 43 in that comeback win on the road against the Wolfpack.
Yeah, in conference play, he just was spectacular. And really, as Gillen went, so went the Orange this past season. When he had big games, they won. Vincent Simpson back into the game for Team Foe. He knocked down a three right before our last time out to give us this 11-9 score. Simpson was terrific in their Thursday Super 16 win over the Untouchables. He was among the 5 players in double figures and was great shooting the basketball.
Nice ball movement from the Kansas Jayhawks right there. Back and forth, Elijah Johnson finding Mario Little. Tyshawn Taylor's on the floor as well right now. Or that might have been Taylor that threw that pass. The three Jayhawks.
Dante Green, good closeout defensively.
Uh-oh.
Jordan Dickerson, the former Penn State Nittany Lion on that end. And how about Deshante Riley saying,
Now this is what this guy does. The Syracuse transfer to Eastern Michigan, 6'11". One thing he can do is protect the rim. He's a former MAC Defensive Player of the Year. And back home, so to speak, playing where he started his college career with some of his former Syracuse buddies. Ball movement's been pretty good so far.
Riley bid on the fake. Marcus Kennedy brings it back out. Weans for 3. 9 minutes to go. We've just reset the team fouls midway through this first half. Team Foe up 5. Boeheim's Army with the basketball. Cooney spotting up this time, and still only Eric Devendorf has made a basket for Boeheim's Army.
Wow. Well, I don't think Ryan Blackwell minds that shot at all.
James Sutherland is fouled before the shot. Our Sunday night baseball game tonight comes to you from Wrigley. Another rivalry game in the NL Central between the Cards and the Cubs. Coverage begins 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown, followed by the game at 8 o'clock. First pitch, all pitches can be seen streaming live on the ESPN app.
Saw Ryan Blackwell there. Young man started his career at Illinois before transferring back home to Syracuse. Too crowded in there.
Well, he split his childhood between upstate New York and Rochester.
Yep.
And in Illinois, and so he played his college career in both states. Wound up playing 3 years at Syracuse, outstanding player. He's a very good high school coach now. Liverpool High School, one of the largest Class AA schools in the state, just outside of Syracuse. Gillen thinking about it. Sutherland creates some space in the lane and knocks it down.
Got away with a little discard, and Mario Little is like, hey, you out to push in the chest, but crafty, well done. Backs down the shot. Pro move.
C.J. Fair back on the floor for Boeheim's Army. Nifty and one for Marcus Kennedy.
Mario Little, the Kansas graduate, knocking it down from deep. James Sutherland in the lane, little floater. And then Marcus Kennedy, the Mustang, the pony from SMU, getting it done inside. One, two.
John, it's Curtis. I am ducking in and out massively. Stand by, let me look at this switch. I'm at 75%. I sound clean. Hit me on IFB. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, you're still ducking in and out, but I think your panel may be overmodulated a bit, so I'm not really worrying about that. Can you give me a little bit more audio from mix 2, please? Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you give me any more or no? Check 1, 2, 1, 2.
He wants you to look at ball movement. He's just showing you, look at ball movement.
Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I say that's good, John. How much more headroom do you have? Give me 3 more right now. Hey, hey, hey. Check 1, 2. Hey, 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 hey. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I think that volume-wise is good. I'm giving it back to him.
Test 1, 2. Yeah. Yes. 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 I did. Absolutely. It was great. All right. I'll take it out. Team foe by 5.
Foe by 5,
Yep.
by 5.
Team foe by 5 versus Syracuse's Boeheim's Army. Watch the ball movement right here. Neither team shooting it great, but if you want a chance to beat the zone, you got to make the ball sing. And you see when you have veteran players who understand that, these guys move the ball way better than Cornell would in a preseason game against the Orange up in the Dome, or for that matter, most ACC teams. And that's the dilemma you have when you play zone against experienced players. But it's been relatively effective to this point because Team Foe is only shooting 3 for 12 behind the arc.
And if you're curious, FOE stands for Family Over Everything. FOE, Family Over Everything. And again, the Morris twins are the masterminds behind this organization, and Marcus serving as the head coach, one of the newest members of the Boston Celtics, recently traded in what's been a very busy summer. Markeith is well involved in the running of Team Foe.
And this gentleman on the line, Marcus Kennedy, I used to call him the third Morris twin, because when he was younger and had a little more weight on him, he was kind of built like the twins, plays like them, very versatile. He's a good player. Oh, that's a travel. Okay,
Yep.
All right, foul
Call a
first.
foul.
All right, I'm good with that.
Let's go over to Jen.
Well, guys, you know, this Boeheim's Army team has always been passionate and always been dedicated, but Coach Ryan Blackwell tells me they took it to a whole new level this year. He saw a much greater commitment from team members about organizing practices, everybody showing up. If perhaps you couldn't show up, and boy, we see evidence of it right there with that type of bucket. If they couldn't show up to a practice, Skyping in, making sure they got the game notes, game plans. This team came to play, and they're doing it in a very organized, professional way, guys.
No doubt, Jen, and after they won their game Thursday night here in Brooklyn, they spent the last couple of days in Manhattan, practiced at Terminal 23 on Friday and Saturday. That's a facility that Carmelo Anthony knows all very well.
But no walkthroughs.
No.
No, that's not in the
No.
Syracuse DNA.
Coach Boeheim does not do walkthroughs.
does not do game day walkthroughs. Nice pass.
Wow. Sutherland wound up stopping what would have been a highlight sequence for Team Foe.
Really good ball movement again by Team Foe.
Mario Little with a knowing smile as he heads to the free throw line. Team Foe handling this zone pretty well so far.
Mario Little, who played junior college basketball, I believe at Chipola.
Indeed.
And then 2 solid years for Bill Self. He's played around the world. Israel last year. Korea, D-League.
Yeah, he was with Coach Self in Lawrence in 09-10 and 2010-11. Young man out of Chicago's Washington High School.
So did they win Did they win the Big 12 that year? They did. You know why? Because they won the last 50.
They didn't, but they haven't won every postseason tournament conference title.
No, but I've lost track. I think it's 12 in a row now.
Yeah. 21-13, Team Foe with the 8-point lead over Boeheim's Army. Back to Brooklyn in a moment. Yeah, your joke went right over my head.
I know. I didn't mean to act like I was trying to stump him.
You did.
So Mike Swanson is...
With Fran and I, my ears are fine. When you're talking to me, absolutely not. Yeah. No, I'm okay with me and Fran, so I'm not saying anything. Yep. Well, we've got lots more basketball to come here in Brooklyn. It's the quarterfinal round of TBT, and they'll switch over to ESPN2, but the action will remain red hot, Fran.
Boy, how about overseas elite trying to go three-peat? And John Gillen going three-peat right there with the big 3. Young man out of Houston, Texas.
First bucket for the former Strake Jesuit High School star. The answer at the other end, the triple by Little.
Bill Self did not let Mario Little shoot that many threes at Kansas. You know why? He couldn't. Didn't make them. But you can see the improvement.
Well, he's already knocked down 3 of them. He has 10 points to lead all scorers for Team Foe.
And when these guys become professional players on any level, there's no more psychology class, no more study hall. You can concentrate on doing something you love and improve the areas you're weak at. And we see that from NBA players, and we see players play overseas doing the same thing.
Little has scored the last 8 Team Foe points. Visit thetournament.com for more information on this year's teams and how to enter a team for next year. Devendorf missed the front end. Bay City, Michigan native, 6'4", now 30 years old. He's got 9 of the 17 points for Boeheim's Army.
I can tell you right now, he did not listen to the Bay City Rollers growing up.
No. Taylor tried the touch pass.
That's good work inside by Marcus Kennedy. He got great position inside that weak side forward in the zone.
Dante Green turned down the 3, drives in and gets the 2.
You mentioned it earlier, motivation for Dante Green, CJ Fair to get back to Baltimore.
Boy, Team Foe's doing a marvelous job passing the basketball.
Yeah, no question about it. We've said oftentimes in this tournament, these guys play with a really good IQ because they're professionals. And there's CJ Fair out of the corner.
Young man who came pretty close to making a couple of NBA rosters with the Indiana Pacers.
And how about a guy that was all Big East and all ACC?
And a second-team All-American.
Yep.
Consensus.
Oh, that's nice.
Marcus Kennedy into double figures. Already Team Foe's got Kennedy with 10, Little with 10.
I watched Larry Brown and Tim Jankovich do a great job with Marcus Kennedy. And he became a very good player. He's been on NBA Summer League teams, and he got his weight down.
Fran. He's already got 7 rebounds today.
Look at that hustle inside by Kennedy. Great position. And then another dime, attacking that zone. And Dante Green. Fair first.
Devendorf pulls up. Team foe with a basketball and an 8-point lead. Michael Thompson for 2.
He looks familiar.
He does facially. Who does he remind you?
Well, he doesn't shoot it like his brother Clay, but good player in his own right. Been around the world, D-League guy. Dad was the #1 pick in the NBA draft.
And he's got 2 younger brothers playing athletics at the highest level. Of course, Clay Thompson with the Warriors, Splash brother. And then Trace Thompson, outfielder in the major leagues.
Yep. And Michael had 5 games with the Cleveland Cavaliers, 3 starts, and he's looking pretty good now. Stuff we come up with and we know. Hey, Rob, any way to just get a tape of this conversation? Clarence, and it's over now, okay.
Did you see Clarence look our way when he was thinking we were the scorers table one time on the foul when Devendorf went down? He looked right at us like, oh.
Yeah. I did not. You know why? He was worried about whether his mic was on. Hey, you're getting a lot of exercise. You're getting a lot of exercise.
It's starting to cause me some grief. I'm getting more publicity with it. It's crazy, man.
And you know who they need in there.
Yeah.
He's the option to get it going, maybe.
Yeah. But he's only played 5 minutes, so I wonder. Great crowd.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Listen, even if we go in the Rick, we can't stand and watch. Go screen here or screen, back screen, whatever, get some more offense. Okay? Too stagnant on offense, I'm telling you. Ball passes once or twice, and we stand and watch. You can't win like that. You got to get something off the move, too.
Well, the sights and sounds of the huddle. Boeheim's Army, Brandon Trish. He's only played 5 minutes today. You mentioned the injury to his pinky on the right hand, and he was instrumental in the win on Thursday night with 7 key points down the stretch of that win.
Sure, and I get the sense he's only played 5 minutes because of the 2 fouls. The reality is you got 6 to play with, and with the team down 10 right now, he may be the answer to help get that ball movement Coach Blackwell was talking about.
Yeah, and I think you have to adjust your strategy. 2 fouls is like 1 foul in college basketball, so really no reason to sit him with 2 fouls.
Rick Jackson also back into the game.
Especially with Doug, when the ball movement has been not very good, only 1 assist so far.
Jackson didn't feel the double team coming, lost it. Trish. Jackson had it blocked from behind out of bounds by Elijah Johnson. Our next WNBA game of the week has All-Star Tina Charles and the Liberty taking on the Lynx. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN2. And as always, you can catch it streaming live on the ESPN app. Devendorf off the curl. Around and out.
Ooh.
Thompson clears the rebound.
Yeah, well-designed inbounds play, and that ball was 2/3 the way down, came out. Tough break. Wait a minute, little man-to-man right here. I think we see man-to-man.
Indeed we do. Rick Jackson having to guard Kennedy 20 feet out. Kennedy missed the shot.
I don't think that they mind that shot at all. Kennedy's done his work inside.
Jackson off the spin, no.
It's a moral victory for Team Foe that they've got Boeheim's Army out of the zone, but I've seen many times in the past when Gene Boeheim has gone to the man-to-man and has turned the game around.
Thompson, little floater. Fight for the basketball. It comes to Kennedy again, and he continues to dominate the glass. That's his 9th rebound already, Fran.
Not surprised. As I mentioned, I've watched this guy for 4 years at SMU. Got a second chance. Never felt, although he played as a freshman, and I was covering the Big East back then, that he really got himself in shape. He was overweight, Philly native, but really committed himself to being a good player at SMU. And Larry Brown, who did a marvelous job of resurrecting that program, did a good job of resurrecting Marcus Kennedy's career.
Yeah, Marcus's 4 years in Dallas were the 4 that the Hall of Famer was in charge of the Mustangs. And as you referenced, Tim Jankovic taking over for Larry Brown and doing a great job this past season.
Yeah, no question. Up, turnover. Now, Team Foe, one of the reasons I think that Boeheim's Army got out of that zone, Team Foe had 12 field goals, 8 were assisted.
Yep.
So we talked about how important ball movement is. I don't think Team Foe shot the ball particularly well, but they were able to get some second shots, get the ball inside. And so now you see a little man-to-man defense.
Malik Waynes, the former Villanova Wildcat, misfires. C.J. Fair, Devendorf, and the foul called against Michael Thompson. Thompson thought he got it clean up top.
Malik Waynes thought that
I was on the baseline that time.
Devendorf kind of got him on the chest. He's complaining to Clarence Armstrong, but here's the finish and the foul. Doesn't go down, but Devendorf will shoot 2.
Give me 2. I need 2. I need 2. Okay.
Well, Fran, since the Army went to man-to-man defense, Team Foe 0 for 3.
That's right. Malik Wayne's pleading his case right now to Tim Edwards that, hey, you didn't see that little trickeration from Devendorf when he was guarding me. I don't usually shoot the ball short and to the left.
Devendorf with 11 of the 24 for Boeheim's Army.
Hey, keep it legal, keep it legal.
That's the lead official who you hear, Clarence Armstrong, saying keep it legal. Another sloppy outlet pass for Boeheim's Army, and Thompson makes him pay.
No question. Thompson was lurking in center court, caught the outlet, didn't even hesitate.
He's a Thompson.
He's a Thompson. Little Splash Brothers.
Trish saves to Team Foe. Thompson again.
Nope.
More sloppy passing by Boeheim's Army.
If I were Malik Waynes right here, I'd kind of slow things down a little bit.
Nice feed to the corner. And another rebound for Kennedy. That's a double-double in the first half for the former Mustang.
You see the position? Backside, 70% of those misses usually go to the backside. And Kennedy wedged Trish inside. Didn't even have to jump.
Timeout called by Team Foe. 23 seconds on the shot clock, Fran.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
And I would try to milk this clock a little bit.
Here we go, yo, on an out-of-balance play. Out-of-balance play real quick. We'll try to get a 3 right here. Who all in? Who all in? Who all in? Block. Smack, take it out. So smack right here. I want 5 man right here, 4 man right here. 2, 1. I want the 5-man to screen down. I want you to curl around him, go around him, and this man gonna stay here. I want the 2-man to come off of it like he's setting it, like he bullshitting and shoot to the corner. It's gonna be wide open. Going them, screen that down right man. Ford, come around. As Ford come around, 2 shoot off, all right? You want me to take it out there? This maybe the one. You want me to take it out? Take it out, you take it out. Shot for Lodge. Shot for you. You at the 2.
And we should tell you that we've got the 2 head coaches mic'd up, and with that, sometimes words are said that we want to make sure don't get out there. So that's why you hear the audio drop out from time to time. Want this to be a family show.
You think Marcus Morris channeling his new head coach?
I was thinking the same thing.
Brad Stevens right there.
Well,
We'll
he hasn't been in a Brad Stevens huddle just yet.
No,
but he'll learn it.
Now back to the zone. So a good adjustment by Boeheim's Army. So that negates the man-to-man play, but now you got to be concerned about the ball movement.
Waynes knocks down the 3.
And Wayne's looking over at that Syracuse bench. He's got some former rivals over there.
No hands, no hands.
Villanova star.
No hands, no hands.
Oh, good hands. Elijah Johnson. Big bucket.
Big turn of events as the last several minutes were all team foe. They go in with a commanding 16-point lead on a 12-2 run.
Well, Malik Waynes calmly knocking it down, and then EJ, former Kansas Jayhawk. They remember that 39-point game up at Iowa State. Not quite the same, but good defense right there on the steal.
Well, Elijah Johnson was a 2-year starter for the Jayhawks. 3 times went to the Sweet 16, made the Final Four, runner-up in 2012. He's getting it done for this team of Philly guys and Kansas guys. And for the Syracuse guys, they've got a lot of catching up to do. All right, let's go back over to Jen.
Thanks, guys. Here's Coach Marcus Morris. Coach, they did a little bit of switching their defense, zone to man here and there. Does that change anything you do?
Nah, we know they can't defend man-to-man. You know, the zone hides because they don't have great defenders. So they're going to man-to-man. That's the game we want them to play.
So you're happy when they switch to that?
Yeah, they won't be in there long.
And ball movement for your team, it seems like it's going extremely well. How do you evaluate how you're talking, how you're moving the ball?
The ball is moving on offense, and I think that's our best defense. You know, guys are buying in because, you know, they're getting the touches. It's moving around. We're getting great shots. Mario Little hit about 2-3 corner threes, and in the middle, man, Marcus Kennedy has about 6 offensive rebounds. So, you know, the zone gives up a lot of things. So we keep dissecting it, keep moving it. We do a good job.
Eric Devendorf has been their bright spot offensively. Do you do anything differently against him second half?
You got to defend us. That's what we're worried about. You got to defend us.
Confidence, I love it. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Thanks, Jen, and that's exactly what I was thinking, Fran. I love the confidence exuded by Coach Morris.
I thought that might have been as good a coaching interview as we have heard. Marcus Morris just dissected the entire first half. If you weren't watching, you have a great idea after that interview why they're up double digits.
Yeah, Marcus Kennedy was the story. As he said, 6 offensive rebounds. He's already got a double-double inside for Team Foe.
Yeah, and they have a plan versus his own. Why? Not because they've played together, because they're all high-level basketball players who understand the game, and they're far better players than they were in college. So the 2-3 zone, not as problematic as it would be, as I said, if Boeheim's Army was playing, you know, Buffalo, Niagara, or Iona.
Another one of those references, thinly veiled by Coach Fraschilla. The Syracuse crowd watching their team down 16 at the break.
Then they're going to go and put on sneakers. So the first one to cross the baseline wins.
Yep.
All right, Jack, Michael, and David, are you ready, set, go ahead.
Gracias.
Okay, looks as though Michael's got a quick lead. They're going for the shorts. Michael is
Where?
to put on the size 18 sneakers.
the team. Oh, gracias. Okay. Stand. It's a beautiful day to be at the New York Aquarium, an even better day to be here with us watching amazing basketball action. Coach Marcus Morris of Team Family Over Everything game plan specifically for the Orangemen's zone defense. He even called friends and other coaches around the league to get some input, and it is showing. Team FOE, Team Foe, out to a decisive lead now at the half. Their ball movement and communication skills really helping them pound the rock in today. They've had two players specifically who have really gone to work and gotten a lot of offensive production for this squad. You've got Mario Little with 14 points, and he's 4 of 8 from the perimeter. He's been absolutely fantastic from deep. You see examples of that ball movement there. This team, 9 assists so far on 15 field goals, dropping dimes, and it is paying off. Marcus Kennedy, meanwhile, already has a double-double. He's shooting 71%, 10 points, 7 offensive boards, 4 defensive boards, just killing it on the glass. Certainly making a big difference for Team Foe today as they take on the Syracuse alumni. Now, much more to look forward to. We do have one winner who has already punched their ticket to head to Baltimore. That is Scarlet and Gray, the Ohio State alumni team. Still to come today after this matchup, the reigning champs, Overseas Elite versus Ram Nation, and Armored Athlete versus Challenge ALS. Going to be a fantastic day of basketball action, so be sure to keep it right here. You've got Michael Thompson and company. Thompson showing that talent certainly runs in the family. 40-24 is your score. We're back in just a moment.
Nice slip. Nice pass. Oh, nice rejection.
Ivan Aska playing big defense at the rim. And then running the floor.
Oh, that's good basketball. Woo!
Back in Brooklyn, New York, where Team Foe enjoys a 16-point lead in this TBT quarterfinal. The winner moves on to Baltimore. Doug Sherman, Fran Fraschilla. 9 assists on 15 made field goals for Team Foe is the story right now.
Absolutely. The ball movement's been really good. And even when they're not getting those assists on the field goals, they're dominating the offensive glass. And those are two keys when you attack a 2-3 zone. Great ball movement, and then get some second chance points. They've got 10 of them. So it's not just been, you know, the ball movement, it's been the hustle as well. And then for Syracuse, last 2 games or game and a half, think about it. They're 6 for 33 from 3.
Yeah.
So they're not manufacturing a lot of easy baskets, and it's showing.
Dante Green only 1 for 9 from the floor for Boeheim's Army, shooting collectively 27%. And we shortchanged Marcus Kennedy in that first half. He actually had 11 total rebounds, 7 offensive.
Well, again, you know, we chronicled it from the start. He is a force on the glass. The other thing that's really underrated about Marcus Kennedy, great passer out of the zone.
Let's go over to Jen.
Thanks, guys. Here with Coach Ryan Blackwell. Coach, certainly the zone defense is the hallmark of this team, but Team Foe seems to have had an effective strategy. How are they outsmarting that zone D so far?
They're just moving the ball well. Our awareness on defense is not good, not finding people. Shooters, we're not getting in the passing lanes. It's a little bit too easy for them, so we're showing a little bit of man this half.
Are you as comfortable defending in man as you are in zone?
I am. I hope these guys are. They better be.
Eric Devendorf has been the bright spot for you offensively. Where's he finding his success?
He's got to get it going, you know, get some steals, get in the passing lane, get out on the break a little bit more movement on offense, set some screens, we'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, the reality is when they were in Syracuse, most of these guys played almost all zone, if not all zone. But since that time, they play a lot of man, and through their entire lives coming up, they played a lot of man. It shouldn't be such a foreign concept to play man defense.
Well, it's not a foreign concept, except what's the strength of Team Foe? We talked about it, the 4-guard offense at times, and they got tricky one-on-one players.
And as Coach Morris has repeatedly pointed out to us, can they guard us? Regardless of whether it's zone or man, can Boeheim's Army guard us? And to this point, no.
That's exactly right. So you got to pick your poison. But I think this too. I'd like to see more life out of Boeheim's Army. They're down 16. You got a lot of time left. Got to get it under 10. You know, but you got to find ways to score easily. Second shots, open threes.
Well, they got nothing from Brandon Trish in that first half either. First made field goal for Rick Jackson this afternoon.
And I like that. You know, it's go inside, attack, get yourself to the line. Try to soften up that Team Foe defense. And you see the Boeheim's Army opening in man right away.
Dante Green could not stop the strength of Sean Evans inside.
Yeah, Sean Evans has been quiet, but he's had some big moments in this tournament. He was an excellent player at St. John's.
Fair off the feed from Jackson.
That's a shot you got to make to get back in this game.
Tyshawn Taylor. Drop it back to Waynes. Evans again rising up. He's got 2 quick hoops.
Don't want him to get going. Had fairly pedestrian numbers at St. John's, but become a good pro. Last year played in Turkey.
And I read somewhere he signed ahead to Greece this coming season.
Yep, they'll make good money over there.
Team Foe got another point-blank shot. This time they missed it. Trish.
Hell no. Wait, take your time. Take your time.
Oh boy, Sean Evans going to work.
Yeah, he says, I'm not taking my time waiting for a trailer. I'm going to work on the post.
No question about it. Sean Evans, he didn't have a point in the first half, and he's got a chance to get a quick 7 in the first 2 minutes. It's a guy that grew up in Philly, so he knows all these Philly guys. You know, the qualifications for playing on Team Foe, you got to either be from Philly or you got to be a Kansas guy, Kansas Jayhawk, because the coach and the GM are both. It's a nice combination.
Sean Evans has all 6 points for Team Foe here in the second half. Marcus Morris, along with his identical twin brother,
Match up.
Markieff, both in the NBA, of course. Marcus was the 14th overall pick of the Rockets back in 2011.
Well, that really was an excellent halftime interview. That was, you know, it wasn't coaching speak. It was honest. It was on target.
Yep. Dante Green gets the roll.
I like that. Dante Green has not found the trigger or the accuracy from deep, so go get yourself a couple buckets inside if you can.
5-5. Oh!
Foul before the shot came on the floor against Green.
Keep running that 4-5 high.
After our Sunday night baseball game between the Cardinals and Cubs on ESPN, wrap up your weekend with Sports Center at Night, hosted by John Buccigross and Lisa Kearney. They'll have a wrap up from the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale, won by Jordan Spieth, by the way. All the best from the world of soccer, Major League Baseball. NFL training camps are getting going. That's Sports Center at Night, also streaming live on the ESPN app.
Jordan Spieth's little brother Steven was on the Dallas Mavericks Summer League team. Outstanding player at Brown. Jordan got up there to see him on occasion. Jordan Spieth wins the PGA Championship in August. He will be the youngest golfer ever to win the career Grand Slam. There you go.
Nice curl, Trish the lob to Green.
I like it. And that's where the value of Brandon Trish comes in.
Come on.
He's a no-mistake point guard. He got Dante Green going a little bit.
Right to the bucket again. One point-blank shot after another. Taylor with the finger roll. 48-30 Team Foe.
Sean Taylor knows a little bit about Brooklyn. He spent a year with the Brooklyn Nets. Grew up in Jersey City, played for the legendary Bob Hurley at St. Anthony's.
Rebounding foul.
Hey, come on. That's a good call.
Personal foul on Mario Little, his third.
We good?
And so he goes out, as does Malik Waynes.
Come on, play ball. Let's go.
Elijah Johnson returns for Team Foe.
I mentioned this yesterday, Doug. I would say as a broadcaster at ESPN, I've covered almost all of these players when they were teenagers and young men in their early 20s. And you talk to them now, before the game, after the game, it's amazing how all of them have grown up. Yep. They're no longer college kids. Most of them are true professional players. They conduct themselves well. Eric Devendorf, we've talked about what a great role model he's become. But it's a pleasure. It really is.
There's James Sutherland. You see, he's a native New Yorker from Queens, out of Cardozo High School, played from Bayside, Queens.
Yeah, he played for the legendary Ron Niclario, who has the most wins in PSAL history.
Devendorf sits and watches as Sutherland makes a pair of free throws.
All right, little three-quarter court zone, press, nuisance press, back to the zone.
Well, that's easy. Get it to the middle, turn and fire. Marcus Kennedy was wide open.
Anybody who knows about attacking that zone, and I had some success, not a lot, knows that if you have a guy in the middle who can make plays from there, it causes a little stress on that zone. And Marcus Kennedy certainly can do that.
You had 3 years coaching St. John's here in this city, going head-to-head with Jim Boeheim back in the day. Kennedy.
By the way, that's great ball movement. Jim Boeheim has had a great influence on these young guys. We talked about young men growing up and becoming men. There's no question Jim Boeheim's had a great influence on this team. But just watch, the ball movement's been outstanding today. And that's what Marcus Kennedy does. I'll tell you, we've talked about the rebounding. And you saw him score in the middle of the lane, but he is an outstanding passer.
Team Foe in the second half, Fran, has taken 7 shots, made 6.
Yep, and most of them assisted. Look at that, Marcus Kennedy. Wow, putting on a clinic. The third Morris twin. He might find himself getting a good look from NBA teams. Good ball movement. One more assisted basket for Team Foe. And the young man who grew up in Philly, played in Dallas, Texas, he's having a field day today.
Go ahead, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
They're the numbers that just keep getting better for Team Foe, and you know, they're all assisted for the most part, but they're all good looks too. I mean, whether they're in close or outside, they have all sorts of room to operate. As Coach Morris has told us, can they guard us?
And that gentleman in the middle is someone that Kansas fans are familiar with. That's Thomas Robinson. So how about the big 3 right there? T-Rob. Oh, they're happy right now. That's a pretty good front line.
You think?
No wonder Bill Self's won 13 in a row. T-Rob's a free agent. Gonna sit tight and see where he ends up. Former #1 pick.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hey, Blogger. Hey, keep up the same pace. They go man, you gonna get some 4-ups, some 5-ups, so the ball can move from side to side. They can't defend for a long time. They're not used to playing man. They only play zone. So why the ball moving like that, that's why we getting wide open shots. Stay rebounding, keep it up. We got timeout under 12. So just play hard for this minute. We got timeout under 12. Let's go. You said under 12, right?
Well, Sean Evans, former Red Storm star, got it going early in the second half. He hadn't scored in the first half. He took care of business early and got it done inside and outside. And then, of course, Marcus Kennedy has dominated the last couple minutes. Knocking it down from deep, just dominating the glass. And right now, if you're Boeheim's Army, your spirit's been crushed a little bit, so they need a little bit of a comeback.
I'll tell you what, Fran, in Thursday's win for Boeheim's Army, they overcame shooting only 3 for 18 from beyond the 3-point line. They're 3 for 18 now in this game. They're not going to overcome this deficit unless that changes dramatically.
Absolutely. And remember, their second round game against Gale Nation went to double overtime.
Yep. Loose ball comes to Jordan Dickerson, the Brooklyn native out of Abraham Lincoln High School.
Nice post up. Jordan Dickerson started his career at SMU and didn't see that he was going to get an opportunity for playing time, so he transferred back closer to home and finished up playing for Pat Chambers at Penn State.
He just graduated from Penn State last year. There he is trying to guide the ball through the hoop.
Oh, look at Elijah Johnson. What a pest. What a pest. Wow. What a pest. And came up with that steal.
It is all Marcus Kennedy and Team Foe. 56-32 in the TBT quarters.
The basketball tournament is brought to you by the new movie, The Foreigner, starring Jackie Chan, in theaters October 13th.
Let's show the last play. Elijah Johnson. Just watch how he ball hawks the play, and he just reaches in,
shots, get great shots, keep the ball moving. 12 assists.
Yeah, there you go.
And 11. Shots.
I got a great Elijah Johnson story.
Okay.
There we go.
Epitomizes Bill Self in Kansas basketball. I think their will's broken, you know?
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, we would have had a great continue. This is a monster throwdown in the Bronx.
What a spin move.
Charm City is in the house, Baltimore style.
Overseas Elite take home the $2 million prize for 2016 TBT.
Well, if Boeheim's Army wants to get to Baltimore and Charm City, they're going to have to keep Elijah Johnson from pestering them. He's given Team Foe a terrific lift. You see the steal, and Marcus Kennedy's going to shoot a couple free throws. And right now, Boeheim's Army, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, in danger of having their will broken, minus a miraculous comeback, but it's been flawless basketball. And this guy, Elijah Johnson, I want to tell you, his first 2 years at Kansas, he did not get off the bench, Doug. And there's always talk about a guy transferring and leaving. And I'll never forget this. He said, and people, you know, the media out there always asked him, are you leaving, are you transferring? He said, I'm a Jayhawk for life. And his last 2 years was a starter and just an outstanding player for Bill Self, and obviously a part of a incredible championship run, which has spanned 13 seasons now for Bill Self and the Jayhawks. So kudos to him for sticking with it. And I mentioned earlier, his signature moment at Kansas was a 39-point performance at Iowa State.
Bringing his own Hilton Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Hilton Magic that night for the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
What is that?
Let's go over to Jen.
Well, Doug, Marcus Morris may have found his calling when his playing days are over. He is absolutely loving being the head coach of this team. It's something he does year-round. He game plans in his car. He meticulously watches film at home, getting ready for this league. He loves it. And he says he also has a new appreciation for what his own coaches have to go through. So Brad Stevens will be appreciative of that. He told me he had no idea how hard it was for coaches to get and keep players' attention. So it's something he's committed himself to helping his coaching staff with back in Boston later on when this regular season gets started up for the NBA.
Good news. No technicals. You know, he's kind of a little empathy for how hard it is to coach.
Black 32 holds, 2 shots. That's a foul, man, that's all. That's all. Huh? I let him hold it for 3-4 seconds, it's a foul.
That's Clarence Armstrong. As James Sutherland hits the first free throw.
Straight in here, straight in. Straight in here.
A little more pressure down by Syracuse, extending that zone, little 1-2-2. Now they've fallen back to the zone out of this press. And they'll do the same here. So they've got to hope for missed shots and some breakdowns, but Team Foe has had excellent ball movement throughout this game.
Don't worry about him.
Good ball movement again. Johnson misses from the corner. Sutherland comes away with it, but no numbers for Boeheim's Army. Gillen goes down on the foul committed by Elijah Johnson.
It's a key part of the game. Needless to say, if you're Syracuse, you just gotta whittle away at the lead.
Thank you, sir.
Try to get it to 10 with about 5-6 minutes to go.
And so at the free throw line, John Gillen, who had 3 stops in his college career. He began at Arkansas Little Rock, then got his degree at Colorado State before transferring just about a year ago. He was a late transfer to Syracuse and played his 4th and final year of eligibility with the Orange.
Absolutely, and Andrew White was another graduate transfer who helped Jim Boeheim this past season. In that 43-point performance at NC State, he was amazing from the three-point line, 9 for 10.
Yep. So
he's capable of heating up a little bit.
So is James Sutherland, so is Dante Green, so is Brandon Trish. They've got guys who can, but here this weekend in Brooklyn, they have not done it collectively.
I'll tell you what they've done. Now they've come out and they've extended those forwards out to the wing area and are forcing the ball to get to the corners, and I like it. Now that's a long bomb. There you go. And the fans here at Boeheim's Army, Doug, you've seen this before. Watch how far out Sutherland and Dante Green are coming. And I think you got to do this and give up something inside.
Sutherland went for the steal. Gillen gets it. It's an 8-0 run for Boeheim's Army. No call. Sutherland makes it 10 in a row. Timeout, Team Foe.
I was back here. I can't call that from back here.
Nice adjustment. Watch here. Deep bomb by Sutherland. He can do that, but the defensive adjustment, Doug, in the last couple minutes, something we've seen at Jim Boeheim many times, is you got to change the look of the 2-3 zone. And what they've done is they've brought the forwards way out, and they're playing 4 defenders on the perimeter right now. And if you don't get the ball to the baseline or inside, you're going to have some trouble. And give Ryan Blackwell credit for making that little subtle adjustment in the zone.
Fran, you referenced the John Gillen 9 made 3-pointers at NC State this past season. James Sutherland, you know, against Arkansas did the same thing. He knocked down 9 threes in a single game, so he's starting to heat up a little bit.
Now this is a little bit of pressure. They'll fall back to the zone.
Sutherland spent time in the NBA Summer League this year.
I want you to watch now. Watch Sutherland and Green. They're going to come out further than they have.
High post, turn and shoot Kennedy. A rare miss for him.
Taking a calculated risk that Kennedy's not going to make that shot a lot.
Sutherland mishandles it. Sean Evans forces the turnover.
Little woofing right now. Sean Evans in Sutherland's face. And this is good at preventive officiating. Reality TV at its best. Pressure's on. $2 million on the line.
Understand.
And emotions run high.
We're not going to start that.
Team Foe has missed its last 6 shots. Gillen grabbed
before the shot.
The arm of Tyshawn Taylor on the way by and got caught.
Before the shot. Right 4 holes before the shot. Right here.
And Doug, that's the 4th team foul for the Orange. Let's remind our viewers that at the 9-minute mark, the clock will reset to 0 team fouls both ways.
It's your first foul.
The takeaway. And that's 12 in a row for Boeheim's Army.
Tyshawn Taylor never saw Mario Little in the opposite corner, and he threw it away.
Kennedy is fouled. And you know who we've not mentioned yet, Fran, in the middle, that man, Deshante Riley, has been a presence down low in this zone.
That's a great point. And remember, when you extend the defense and go forward to the perimeter, then it helps to have somebody like Riley in there. Rick Jackson is more of a below the rim, take the charge guy. But Riley will discourage those shots at the rim you're going to give up.
Well, the folks dressed in orange here are enjoying this.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do.
They get a number 10, and this crowd will really come alive.
Hold on. Back up.
There we go.
Back up. We got it. I got
There
you.
we go.
I got
We're
you.
talking.
Hey, listen. God, this is what we're going to do. The next one of you do something wrong, it's a technical foul. That's all. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's either a foul or tech, the next one. It's that simple.
Officer Armstrong making sure that everybody's clear. And these officials do a good job of giving the players leeway to express their emotion, but they're not going to take a whole lot more. This is big.
Well, there are watch parties all around Syracuse and Central New York this afternoon for this TBT quarterfinal game for a spot in the semis, all vying for that $2 million prize that awaits for some team on August 3rd. These Boeheim's Army players have not given up.
Two good looks. First by Green, then by Sutherland. And I like this from Tyshawn Taylor. Let's slow it down a little. Well, so much for that.
Boeheim's Army on the move, and it's Gillen one more time.
Well, terrific job by Deshante Riley again. He has put a lid on the basket.
The defense for Boeheim's Army has really amped up the pressure, and the intensity is there, Fran.
And why not? $2 million at stake. Winner gets 0. The other one cashes the check.
This got interesting, huh? Good. Yeah. All the way to the end. Yeah.
Okay, great 2 turnovers. Last 10 possessions.
Deshante, Brandon, John, James. All right, going here, you're coming off, you're going to get James right here. And then you roll back to the basket. Shot for you. This is for you. Okay, curl. If you got the curl, curl hard as fuck. As he's dribbling. Huh? Yeah, as he's going away, come on. If you can go right away, go. Okay, let's go.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Get up.
As he's going away, come on. If you can go right away, go. Okay, let's go.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Get up. Let's go. All right, going here, you're coming off, you're going to get James right here. And then you roll back to the basket.
Shot for you. This is for you. Okay, curl. If you got the curl, curl hard as fuck. As he's dribbling, huh? Yeah. As he's going away, come. If you can go right away, go. Okay, let's go.
Well, I like the adjustments that Ryan Blackwell has made, particularly in that zone, and it's led to a terrific run here, started by James Sutherland, who heated up. And you gotta like it. Team foe has missed its last 10 opportunities to score, but Boeheim's Army taking advantage. 0 for 8 and 2 turnovers, Doug. And I love the adjustment they've made. Deshante Riley has been the anchor in the middle, and it's allowed those 4 perimeter defenders to take away the three-point line.
Fran, let's go back over to Jen.
Well, Doug, we're getting a dose of it here, and I know people at home can hear this fervent Syracuse fan base as well. They pull out all the stops. Check out some of the baked goods superfan Chantel Winkler brought with her for Boeheim's Army. She used to do this when they were all in college, so she decided to revive the tradition.
Jen, how do we get our hands on those cookies? Kennedy breaks the Boeheim's Army run.
That's well done. Remember, he's been really good in the middle of the zone today. Good adjustment out of the timeout.
Sutherland again.
Great set play, weak side pin down. Sutherland's feeling it. Well done out of the timeout by Ryan Blackwell.
Sutherland, the native New Yorker, with 15 points to go along with 9 rebounds.
Watch where Riley's going to come out and guard. Oh, illegal screen.
Third foul.
Terrific play on the weak side. There's a screen by Deshante Riley, who, by the way, you got to give him a lot of credit today. You know, Rick Jackson is a proven player, but Ryan Blackwell going with Riley because of the defensive presence, and that time, good screen.
Here goes Gillen into the lane, fouled on the way up. Our next WNBA game of the week has All-Star Tina Charles and the Liberty taking on the Lynx. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Always you can watch it live streaming on the ESPN app.
Yeah, terrific WNBA All-Star game yesterday. Highly entertaining. We had dunks. We had a lot of scoring, 251 points combined.
Beautiful atmosphere out at Key Arena in Seattle.
Absolutely.
Pro hoops alive and well in the Emerald City.
I think we'll see an NBA team back there shortly. They'll call it the Seattle Sonics.
We call it the same.
I got to tell you, this is where the pressure ratchets up on Team Foe. We talk about family over everything. They're going to have to stick together because you got the feeling that this crowd here is not going to let Boeheim's Army quit.
What was a 25-point game is down to 8. Sutherland and Gillen have scored the last 21 for Boeheim's Army, and here they come again.
Good call. Mario Little was set. Clarence Armstrong was on top of that. And it looked like a great opportunity. Let's watch. He's set, and he's allowed to be backing up as long as he's established legal guarding position. Yeah, that was a terrific opportunity to cut this lead to 6. But if you'd have told me 5 minutes ago that it would be an 8-point game with a little under 7, I think Ryan Blackwell would have taken it.
And they've done this without Eric Devendorf, who remains on the bench. He scored 11 in the first half.
Riley again challenging.
Wayne's no. Gillen allowed the long rebound to go out of bounds, back to Boeheim's Army.
Doug, I'm going to tell you, that'll never appear on the stat sheet, but the fact that Riley came up and guarded that high post and forced the pass, great, great work. And I like what John Gillen's done. He's provided a spark with his athleticism and quickness.
Trish turns the corner, hangs in the air, and puts it in.
Right now, we're seeing a meltdown. We're seeing the pipes burst.
Fran, it's a 21-2 run for Boeheim's Army. Trish keeps it going.
Get out of here, man. No, get over here. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
I don't think we have a timeout.
Well, Clarence Armstrong is the one who called time. Don't know why, but he came from the sideline. Something on the floor. Okay, when Dante Green went down to clean up the perspiration. Good call. Now the time comes from Team Foe. Marcus Morris calls a full timeout.
Well, we've talked about Brandon Trish, the winningest player in Syracuse history. And look at the hustle right here. Cleaning up, getting a little loose change. And everyone's like it, including Ryan Blackwell. Feeling it in Brooklyn.
That was Kevin Belby, the team general manager, right next to head coach Blackwell with his mouth wide open, tongue wagging. 4-year head manager for Jim Boeheim.
Yep. Someone get Mello an Uber. Get him down here. Where's Mello when you need him?
Well, there were rumors around today that Carmelo was going to be in the building. Haven't seen him. There's also talk that since he's been so involved in getting the semis and finals of TBT to his hometown of Baltimore next week, that he might also be there, especially if Boeheim's Army is able to pull off what would be one whale of a comeback victory. It's a 23-2 run in about a 6-minute span, Fran.
Well, I didn't expect this because it's been a tale of 2 games so far. I thought Team Foe had great composure for about a half and a half of a half.
But the biggest difference has been in the last 6 minutes?
Yeah, and I think the adjustment on the defense. And listen, if you'd have told me Deshante Riley would be a big factor in this game, I wouldn't have thought much of that. But the defense has certainly adjusted. Look at this. Oh, that was close.
Trish thought he got it clean. 4th foul on the Jamesville DeWitt graduate.
Let's watch right here. He got in there, yep. Hit the arm, knocked the ball loose. I think there was more lamentation from Trish that he almost had a steal and not a complaint about the foul. That's good.
There's the interior passing we saw in the first half.
Exactly, and you're going to get that because they're Boeheim's Army trying to take away the 3.
Green can't find the range.
Well, he's had a really, really rough game today. Wonder if they'll go with somebody else.
And as you say that, C.J. Fair comes from the Boeheim's Army bench to the scorer's table. Trish, another steal. And he will head to the free throw line. Fouled from behind by Tyshawn Taylor.
Brandon Trish has made that play 5,000 times. The ball in the air, steals it, and then the finish and the foul at the other end. Take a look right here, a little nickel dime at the end, but
Fran, I can't help but notice that Trish is not playing with that splint on his pinky here in the second half.
good call.
And you know, he has been not only icing that finger the last 3 days, he's also been applying apple cider vinegar. It's a family remedy from his grandfather. They swear it works. Whatever he's putting on it, it's been working here in the second half.
It's passed down through the generations. Uncle Howard, right?
Yep.
I think he liked the apple cider on the limbs. His uncle was a terrific player as well.
Yeah, he was a co-captain on that 1987 national final team that lost the heartbreaker to Indiana.
Brandon Trish epitomizes Syracuse hoops.
And he commits the foul. 4:41 to go. It was a 25-point game in favor of Team Foe about 7 minutes ago, and it's been all Boeheim's Army since. Trish, that's 5 fouls on him, Fran.
He's got to be careful because he's been a catalyst, and I'm watching Mario Little go to the line right now. He's sucking a little wind. See if he can calmly make these, because he looks like he's running out of a little gas. Well, Team Foe, Doug, had such a good game plan versus the zone in the first half. The one thing you know from the experience is that Jim Boeheim has always adjusted that zone and moved bodies around and take away strength. And Team Foe has not really adjusted.
Trish to the bucket. Nice contest at the rim by Mario Little.
Devendorf back now, going with the vets. Riley's still in the middle of the zone.
You got one coming too?
And look how high Dante Green comes out. Excuse me, James Sutherland.
Clean look from the head of the key. It rattles off. Riley fights for the basketball. Out of bounds off of him. Good fight by Marcus Kennedy.
Marcus Kennedy's going to be a key down the stretch, because if I'm Marcus Morris, I want to put Kennedy in the high post and make him make plays right there. Doesn't have to shoot it, but he can be the playmaker from the high paint area.
We saw that in round 2. Gale Nation handled some of that well, putting Mike Glover at the high post.
Yep, and that's a tough shot right there. Ill-advised. And here we go, Doug.
Why did you do that for? What did you do that for?
Sutherland hits again.
The screws are tightening on Team Foe.
Malik Waynes penetrates. Riley with another rebound. A chance to tie for Boeheim's Army.
Wow.
After having trailed by 25 here in the second half. Here goes Trish to work. Sutherland. It is a one-point game.
I'll tell you right now, what a comeback. And all the pressure is on Team Foe right now, and they are folding like an accordion.
Johnson with the huge 3. Will that stem the tide? Setting up Sutherland again.
How about this? Wow. That's why he was with the Utah Jazz this summer.
It's the Arkansas Razorback game all over again.
Yeah. You see how far Riley came out?
And then he recovers to grab the rebound. The last lead for Boeheim's Army, 9-8.
This is the best Ashante Riley's ever played in a Syracuse uniform.
And Devendorf makes the comeback complete with 1:49 to play.
Wow, Team Foe is cracked.
Three on the way by Johnson, no. C.J. Fair corrals it.
Amazing. Anything can happen in a TBT.
Timeout, Coach Blackwell. It's a 35-9 run for Boeheim's Army. James Sutherland has been in the middle of it all.
Oh, he got it started, and he's trying to finish it. Trying to get to the Charm City, Baltimore, for the money.
I do.
Double drag.
Deshante Riley's
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Okay. Hop up. Hop up. Come on. What side you got it on? This side. Okay? All right?
Go together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Man, Mark had the screen and chin down there.
Got a rebound down there. A rebound down there.
Somebody got to step up for something.
Someone tell me to watch the trap.
Okay.
The basketball tournament is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I tell you, if the Boeheim's Army team could get any hotter, they would be on fire.
Oh, there's no question. And what a comeback. Eric Devendorf, the only player on this roster who's competed in all 3 TBTs with the go-ahead basket. And now we have a minute 17 of pure drama and reality TV because there's more than pride at stake coming up, Doug.
Well, I'll tell you, if the bleacher creatures out in Wrigley have as much fun as we are here today, it's going to be a great ball game between the Cubs and the Cardinals. It's Sunday Night Baseball. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. First pitch, 8 o'clock. Both streaming live on the ESPN app.
You know why this is better than the Carrier Dome? Because we got juniors across the street. And cheesecake, okay?
Spoken like a Brooklyn native.
Big possession right here. And what a comeback.
Boeheim's Army with its first lead since 9-8 with the basketball on a 35-9 incredible run. Trish, strong, and the finish.
Pure winner. That's what Brandon Trish has always been. A big comeback the other night. 7 points in the final minute. And how about his play down the stretch? The winningest player in Syracuse basketball history, getting it done for the old timers.
It's the Trish family, apple cider vinegar, getting it done. Double figures for the 26-year-old. Taylor,
where's the ball movement? Yeah, where's the ball movement from the first half?
It's become hero ball for Team Foe. There's a little good movement.
Great challenge.
Fight for the ball, and it comes to Team Foe. Taylor with Trish on him. Evans back out front. 30 seconds left on the clock. Taylor will head to the line to shoot 2.
Well, that we talked about the 2-3 zone in the first half. It looked like Swiss cheese on Rye. But in the second half, give Ryan Blackwell credit. They adjusted the zone. They brought the wings out to take away the three-point line.
Hey, we got
and the
one.
underrated player in this comeback to this point, Deshante Riley in the middle of that defense.
No question, the 7-footer from Detroit has played big minutes here in the second half.
Jim Boeheim checking to see if he's got any more eligibility left.
Well, he only played 1 year at Syracuse.
I know.
He should have 3 left.
Oh, that's good.
Held ball.
Yep, that's good for Team Foe right there.
Possession arrow gives the ball back to Team Foe.
Now it's a one-possession game. You don't need to shoot a contested 3.
Shot clock off. And so Marcus Kennedy checks back into the game. Malik Waynes will also come back for Team Foe. Or will he? Yes, he does come in. There are now 6 players on the floor for Team Foe. Looks like it's going to be Mario Little going out.
You're going to go for Deshante.
Don't need a 3. But you got to get better ball movement than you had. See, this is too much one-on-one here.
Along the baseline, Taylor's floater, no. CJ Fair saves, but he was on the end line, so Team Foe will keep it. Timeout called, Team Foe.
Now you have to start thinking about the 3. And even on that drive, Deshante Riley was working at the rim.
Let's take a listen.
I want Plagger take it out right here. I want Benny right here. I want Big Fella right here. I want, who else it?
Smack the line.
Ree, you here. And Lodge, you up top for the screen out. Ree, I want. Yeah, Ree, come around. As you come around, you step around and says where you at. I want Benrock to cheat it. Cheat it, come up here, and you come here, Benrock. Cheat it like you setting the screen for him, and you come here, all right? Step on the outside. There's only one man right there.
Hey, they might go man.
If they go man, look. If they go man, go get it in, go high pick and roll to the pin down. Hey. If they go man, go high pick and roll to the pin down. But really,
Well, it looks like they're going to stay in the zone, but Marcus Morris has them aware of both defenses. If you're Team Boeheim right now, play the three-point line and let Riley do his work inside, but don't give up an open look.
Taylor for 3. Devendorf's got it with 8 seconds.
Amazing. Amazing comeback. Look at the challenge. Look how far out the defense gets. Hand up. And the missed shot.
Wow. Devendorf, who a couple of minutes ago had the layup to put Boeheim's Army in front for the first time this half, gets a couple of free throws here, up 3.
Looking at the greatest comeback in TBT history, considering what's at stake.
The winner of this game goes to Baltimore, needing just 2 more wins for $2 million.
Come on, boys.
And Team Foe has just thrown $2 million down the drain.
Boeheim's Army closes the game on a 40-10 run over the final 11:41 to shock Team Foe.
Now we're going to get no reason for this.
Advances to the Final Four and Walton Awareness matches 2 minutes away from $2 million.
You gotta build like that.
We got it. I got it.
I was just trying to come on through the line.
We good, man. We all good. All right, now, come on.
You don't want to rumble. You know you don't want to rumble, bro.
They won their man, that's what they lost.
That's why we call it reality TV on a basketball court.
Sure.
Because you run the range of emotions. And we're watching that range of emotions out on the court. Team Foe gave away a golden opportunity at big money. And you gotta love this crowd that was here today inspiring Boeheim's Army.
Does Boeheim's Army win this game without the crowd, Fran?
I don't think so. And I also think the great adjustments that Ryan Blackwell made with Deshante Riley in the middle of that zone.
No question.
And playing out on the perimeter. You know, Seth Greenberg and I have talked about attacking the zone many times. And one of the things you want to do is take away the three-point shooting.
And the shooting of James Sutherland, the scoring of James Sutherland. He finished with 23 points. And they've just updated that big bracket over along the baseline. Boeheim's Army headed to TBT semifinal play.
They were charmed today, and they're going to the Charm City.
There you go.
Amazing, you know, pressure, right? What we always say about this tournament, so much at stake, and the pressure is palpable. You feel it, and let's face it, Team Foe cracked. They cracked, and they're going to lament this loss for a long, long time.
And it's amazing how it turned, Fran, that in that first half and for the first 6-7 minutes of the second half, Team Foe handled Boeheim's Army like it was the varsity against the JV.